Hello and welcome back to Music and Sage Tarot. I'm your reader for today. If you came to these messages, then you must need to see them. Something like that. Okay. So I already did a pre-shuffle, and basically in the pre-shuffle, I just go over the overall energy for the reading before. Oh, I forgot to light your sage, baby. Let me light your sage. Hold on. Then you gotta let it rain. Yeah, hold on, it ain't catching. Something ain't catching. Something ain't catching. Alright, clear it out. So we letting it rain and let me let it clear it out. Alright, sending you positive energy all up in your grill. Okay. So on the pre-shuffle, we have the Two of Pentacles here. We have the Hanged Man here. And we have the Four of Swords here. Alright, so I don't know what you've been doing. But based on the pre-shuffle, there are some fears around speaking your truth. You know, there are some fears around speaking your truth. So we're going to take this one by one. We're going to clarify each one of these cards. So when I see this Two of Pentacles, it's like you're trying to balance something out. You know, you feel like you got to do everything while trying to balance something out while walking across this tree, which is like a challenge. So it's like trying to balance something out with the challenge. But baby, you got some shade. At least you're in the shade and not in this hot ass sun. You know, so you may got a job where you don't have to work in the sun as much. So that's good. But let's see what you're trying to balance. And this will also be choices and decisions. So let's clarify what you're trying to balance here. So listen. What are these divine masculines trying to balance here? Then we're going to pull out two cards because we got two pentacles, baby. So we're going to have it. What's the first pentacle? First pentacle is strength here. So you trying to balance. Basically, strength comes out as a Leo energy. Strength comes out as like having courage, doing what you need to do, having discipline and self-discipline, going after what you want, and believing in yourself, being brave, being optimistic, you know, but also being compassionate, also being caring. But this also can mean a loving, caring woman that comes along as well. So then, when you be trying to balance strength, what are you trying to balance the strength with? See. Lord, so you are trying to balance this strength with this 10 of Swords. Like, sometimes you feel strong, and sometimes you feel like, what the fuck am I doing? Like, and this is also like burnout. This is also like being burnt out. So it's like, I gotta stay strong, gotta do what I need to do. But on the other hand, I'm feeling burnt out right now. On the other hand, you feeling burnt out right now. And it's like you don't even want to, you just need a break. This is also needing a break. And you almost at your breaking point. Like, so you balancing between, oh, I got strength to go on. And either I'm going to keep going on or I'm going to have a fucking breakdown. So, whew. So there's a lot of heavy energy there. Okay. So that's why you had this hangman energy here. You feel like either way, somebody gonna fucking hang me. You like, hang me right now. Take me down. Like, at this point, I'm ready to give up. At this point, I'm ready to give up. So it's like you're at some breaking point, but you're like you're not giving up. So let's see what's these. Let's see why you're not giving what's this hangman? Let's clarify this. This hangman could be changing the perspective. And it's like at this point, something needs to change. Something has to change. You've been doing the same thing for way too long. And it's like, at this point, he looked like he ready goddamn jump off on his own. But he don't even have the noose around his neck. You just thinking you hung. You don't even got no noose around your neck. So you got it better than you think. Like I said, he in the shade. Some people gotta work in the sun. So you got it better off than you think. But that don't mean you don't have struggles. I understand. So let's see. What's this hanging? What's holding you, baby? Here we go. Here we go. If I have a bad thought, it must mean that I'm a bad person. Oh, you're not a bad person. Flip it. Having a bad thought doesn't define who I am. That's what I just said. You're not a bad person. Okay? When bad or disturbing thoughts are intrusive, it's usually because your anxious brain is perceiving danger everywhere, even in your own head. But it's also completely normal to have a negative thought about someone, so don't beat yourself up about it. Try this. Accept that this is just a thought, and then imagine it floating away in a cloud. So, you just having a lot of negative thoughts right now. Honestly, you having a lot of negative thoughts right now because you're exhausted. Don't he look like his brain is exhausted? Because he's exhausted, and at this point, trying to think of positive thoughts, positive energy, this, that, and the third requires strength. Like, it requires a lot of strength, mental, physically, and emotional strength to, think positive. And that's some things people don't realize. It takes a lot of physical and emotional strength to think positively all the time. You like, yeah, I can't focus, but they don't realize how much it may drain you trying to keep up with everything, And I did have here something like this. If I don't respond to this work test ASAP, they'll think I'm lazy, useless, entitled. So you're a very hard worker. All is well. I can take some time to respond. Exactly. And once you realize, I've been there, and y'all thinking I gotta do this, that, and the third, and everybody else taking their goddamn time. And I'm like, what the hell? But it's all due to your racing thoughts and anxiety, trying to, what is it? Unfortunately, the racing thoughts themselves make you feel more stressed and overwhelmed. So take a breather. Try thought dumping. Simply write down whatever words come to mind and then screw the piece of paper and throw it away. That's what they say. Or maybe try writing a note in your phone and delete it. You can do that. But yeah, you feel like you gotta do every goddamn thing. That's what it looks like. It's like, oh my God, I gotta do everything. So this is rest. So when you get high, whoever it is you with, like, you okay? You okay? You good? You just fucking tired.